Alright folks, welcome back to Let's Play Zork Grand Inquisitor. Microphone adjustment. I'm the Mysterious JG, and I just had a hard time. I had a hard time getting this video started, but that was my own stupid mistake. Involving which directory I ran, which program out of, and blah blah blah. However, I'm also coming off of finding out that a big bunch of footage I recorded for another LP, namely Lufia Rise of the Sinistrals, just, sort of got eaten. So I'm kind of annoyed at Camtasia Studios right now. But all in all, still, generally, the fact that it's letting me LP this game at all makes me pretty happy. But anyway, folks, you've had some time now to think about what we should do with the Blam Classic covered Zork rocks, but I'll give you a little hint before we get involved with it. Gotta figure out a way to get into these lockers. Now, I shouldn't have done that. Doesn't really matter though. Something I never figured out about the lockers without the help of a fact. It's just, a friend and I thought we had solved the puzzle with the lockers, didn't realize there was more you could do with them. They did give you a little bit of a hint though when they said, access will depend on how stale the candy in the machine is. Check this out. This is something I had never figured out on my own. Okay. Remember, there was a locker that was open. We closed it. It's open again. How to win a double Fanucci. Down to this. Give yourself all the best cards and steal from your opponents all their best cards. Lie and say it's your turn even when it isn't. Complain about everything just to set the mood. Here's a favor. Bring an enchanter friend with you who can cast a Yeoman Mind Probe spell so that you can read your opponent's mind. If your opponent has no mind, have your friend cast a Guncho spell, banishing your opponent into another plane of existence, and thus giving you an opportunity to switch cards before he returns. Most of these are from an enchanter, it seems like, or sorcerer, or spellbinder, aka Elijah. If you continue to lose after he returns, the author suggests a mild Bayala spell of bodily deformation to remove your opponent's hands and they all together, so that though he or she might object somewhat strenuously to your cheating, ultimately his hands will be tied, or simply grafted to his head. In any case, the odds of your winning will... Okay, can't turn the pages, but we can interact with this. Kindle. Oh, hold on. The only way to win is not to play. Let's try getting a sync point here by going Riz, and then forgetting about that. But you just saw there that the maybe you picked up on it, folks, maybe you haven't, but there is a connection between this machine and those lockers. What if we go for... this one's broken. We saw a ripped up wrapper of one of these candies. We can't get one of those candies, but we attempted to buy one, and you hear some sounds from the distance. And there's a different locker that's open now.
That's Yannick's locker. That rat ant was my roommate here for 3 terms, before he became the pastor of disaster up in the above ground. He would have failed out first term if it weren't for me.
Better spell manufacturing in under 10 minutes. This is what we never realized. Years ago, a friend and I, playing this game, did not realize that you opened the different lockers by using the candy machine. So we basically ignored all the lockers except for the one where you may have seen at the candy machine. One of them, there is no button. You have to figure out a different way to open that one. We figured out how to open the oddball one you can't open normally. We never figured out the normal way to open them, at least not until we gave up and read a fact. Anyway, this is important though. Better spell manufacturing in under 10 minutes. Blank spell parchments must be put through a 5-step imprinting process that varies for each spell. To print a spell scroll, place the blank parchment on the auto-imbued printing table that bears the name of the step you wish to accomplish. You know what? We'll come back and read this later. Although, I'm curious, you can interact with it. Does that mean that we can cast Kendall on this too? Kendall! Never mind. I guess you can go back and read the text if you want. It actually can reason through how you have to solve a certain puzzle, but apparently I didn't realize until just now. If you cast Kindle, it just gives you the solution. But we're going to come across. Well, you'll understand later. We're going to come across a point where all these different inputs are possible, and you have to figure out the correct order. We just did it, I guess.
A Prozork tablet. This stuff will mellow anything out. Animal, vegetable, or mineral.
Animal, vegetable, or mineral, eh? Caves Notes by the Enchanter Bizboz.
Look at this! Cheat notes! Crib sheets! He may run the Empire, but he's not quite Mensa material.
Inside of all this incredibly weird stuff that I've discovered is quite possibly a future discipline of sorts, a profession in the making, either that or a slightly nauseating dream I'm quite in the middle of having. In any case, I've decided to name this weird stuff something like Weirdic. People who practice it should be called Weirdikins. This boss rambles on about weird guilds and weird wands for a long time after that, until he notices that the incredible weird stuff he has discovered for the most powerful natural rules, he then categorizes in 3 types, which we call magic. Since the name Weirdic was immediately dropped from the first person who heard it reacted violently. First 3 branches of magic are high magic. Okay. Yeah, but we needed to get. You do need to get the. Oh, time travel for dummies. As illustrated by the fact that Lord Dimwit flattered himself, hired a team of 12,000 specialists to trace the labyrinth of time tunnels underneath the Great Underground Empire. The model he presented with looked so awfully like a great ball of spaghetti that the meeting was terminated and dinner was served. The report, a meticulous tracing of temporal lateralism in the Great Underground Empire with Marinara, is still available in libraries and restaurants today. Excuse me, but if there are a great many temporal past, yeah, you folks don't realize how lucky you are. Just a little bit of a burp got on the mic, and I apologize for that, but I had like garlic strewn Mongolian barbecue for dinner, so it could be a lot worse. You could be in the room with me. But if there are a great many temporal passageways in the Empire, only a handful have ever been accessed, and none have successfully navigated by corporeal living bodies. Only spirit forms are able to use the time tunnels. An interesting effect happens when they do. Their spirit assumes a physical form. Of course, no actual physical objects can be brought through the time tunnel due to the law of blah blah blah. Origination, modification, replication, interpretation, transmogrification. Wrong place to be. I spent the whole video messing around with this. And, you know, I just realized now that I completely forgot to note what time it was when we started. So I'm going to assume we've been doing this for about 10 minutes and give myself another 20. Alrighty. Come on, game. Spend a lot of time at this, even when you're not fighting the auto-scroll. And obviously not all the lockers are going to be useful. It would appear, for example, that that one's empty. Okay. No. Yes. You think anything with a candy bar in it is more likely to be useful, but don't know if that's logic of any kind. You could really consider that logic. There appears to be some scrolls in here, but we can't interact with them. So I don't think those are... I didn't mean to go here. I don't think those are actually going to help us at all. Getting better at the whole... Matter of fact, I think as far as ones you need to open to win the game, we've dealt with the only one that you need to open using this method, and the rest of them are just fun. Yeah, see? Wizard cap and goofiness. Oh, but we're into it now. Let's keep going. Third of the way there, folks. More than a third of the way, because we already opened one of the bottom row ones, and we know that one of them from the second row will not open for us through this method. And I hope by now you've figured out, as we continue to play around with this, you'll probably have figured out the Zork Rocks usage. Nope. Yes. Yes. That looks pretty empty to me. Yep. Anyway, folks. See that? See that? Yeah. It's a little hint there. We can interact with the locker that doesn't have a working button. No. I mean, yes. Empty. You know, maybe I should just stop wasting your time and mine and assume that they're all going to be empty from now on. Except for the one that we can't get into through this method. I'm just afraid that we'll miss some wacky fun comedy. We know the Zork Rock ones has the double Fanucci stuff in it. Which is just, that's there for fun. That's not a clue to any kind of major puzzle in the game. Or even minor puzzle. Empty. So, let's do more on the bottom row. Let's make a perfect sweep at this point. Irish sweep. Irish sweep. I'm going to need to get back into this locker eventually. Matter of fact, when we come back up here to set up our exploding Zork Rocks, we'll probably want to leave that locker open. Empty. 2 more, folks. Then you'll be able to say, I watched every locker in Zork Grand Inquisitor opened. You'll be the envy of your friends. This page and left intentionally blank. Cute. And I doubt we'll be getting anything better than that in the last locker. Nothing at all. Alright, well, before we go back to the big fat loser dunce locker, we are going to go down the wrong hall. We're going to open up the Grand Inquisitor's locker, because I'll need to go back and refresh my memory about that. I shouldn't have used Kendall on it, because if you don't use Kendall, there actually are written instructions. You can go back, pause the video, read them yourself, see if you can work it out. It becomes like a relatively straightforward little puzzle that you can solve. It tells you how many commands you have to put in, gives you some clues as to what the correct sequence is, allows you to eliminate a lot of the possibilities. But, I mean, if you just cast the Kendall spell, which kind of makes sense since it's the spell that simplifies instructions, it does in fact tell you exactly what to do. Now, however, we're going to use the Zork Rocks in the correct way.
Warning, warning, presence of cola beverage detected.
Let's find a safe home for this stuff, okay? These rocks are about to pop in a very big way, and I don't want to be next to them when they do.
There we go.
There you go. Crisis averted.
Just to be safe, we can back off.
Warning, presence of cola beverage detected. This candy will self-destruct in 45 seconds.
Did that? Why did this thing close? Did I forget to actually do that? Let me go back and do it. I don't want to. I'm not sure if you can get
rocks have been corrupted.
if you can get blown up by being too close. I was going to say we could watch the explosion, but I doubt it's going to be that impressive. So let's get over here and make sure that we don't get blown up, and also make sure that we have this thing ready to go, which I thought we had already done, but okay.
Danger!
Danger, Will Robinson. Come on, just go. Come on. I'm ready for it to blow up now. It's time for it to blow up. What are we waiting on here, Zork Rocks? It's been 40 seconds now, hasn't it? Big Fat Loser Dunk's locker is still not open. I've done that thing twice now. I hope it's not glitched.
Look,
anyway.
This is my locker. That's my stuff. My books and my papers and my... Oh, I guess I should have washed those gym shorts.
We see to my best friend somebody. Yeah, I think we saw the same signed picture in the other guy's locker, but you've got A's and everything, blah, blah, blah. What is this?
My student ID. Fortunately, I cast the turn embarrassing photo invisible spell on it.
Well, I think we know how to use that, but I'm still annoyed that we don't seem to be able to get into this locker again. Because we kind of need to be able to get in there. On account of I didn't make a note of what the correct combination was. Maybe now that we're done playing around with those other lockers. Maybe it just got confused by the fact that we were doing another locker-related puzzle. It is this one, right? Oh, I did hear the opening sound there. Okay. Leave it alone. It's working now. Although I did notice, yeah, see that same autographed picture, it looks like. Alright. So I think it's pretty simple that we use the student ID to get through the store.
My lantern sense is tingling, warning me of danger. Oh, and your sword's glowing too.
Okay, so there's a bunch of flying swords in front of us, eh? Let's see what we can do with this.
Bah, get away from me, bridge, you cretin! Look at me, damn ya! I'm the six-armed invisible bridge guy! Nobody messes with the six-armed invisible bridge guy!
Scottish accents are funny, folks.
Go ahead then! I can take you with 5 arms tied behind me back!
Let's take him on.
Oh, you're asking for it! Take that! And that! And that! And that! And that! And that!
Go bridge! Go bridge! Go bridge! I'm rooting for the bridge. The six-armed invisible guard chops, slices, and eventually purees you. In the end, what there is left of you couldn't be held in a sieve. Of course, by then, you're long past caring. You have died. So yeah, we don't actually want to fight him, of course. You have to go back to like Zork 1 before you could actually successfully, with enough loading and trying again, fight the thief, the sneaking sneak thief, smirking sneak thief, and like there's a jump. Oh, son of a bitch! Well, you know, we did just save, so hopefully this will not mean. Oh, and now I can see how much time I've got. 21, so I've got 10 more minutes. That was actually pretty darn close on my time estimate there. And I got about 10 minutes left. It's actually like more like 9 minutes, so 20:52 my time here. I need to shut this thing down. Yeah, so what are we gonna do? We got a student ID. Do you think he cares about that? Oh, you know what? We're not even on his screen here. So let's the spell lab is our current location, apparently. Protected by the Froboz's Magic Company Purple Beast Alarm System. So he's a purple beast. Well, we've got a spell to turn purple things invisible. Egram.
Get away from me, bridge, you cretin! Fat lot of good, that'll do ya! How do you think I got to be the six-armed invisible bridge guy in the first place? Somebody already beat you to it, me friend.
Show him our student ID.
For the sweet love of Pete, what do you want me to do with that?
See, they don't like it when you just give items to puzzles at random.
Do you go around emptying your pockets to every strapping swordsman you meet?
And there's the problem. I mean, it doesn't really recognize that we were trying to show him the ID. It just thinks we tried to give it to him. However, there is a solution to this. It pays in these situations to just kind of move around the screen. You can walk towards him. What are we able to interact with here? Looks like we can interact with the rope. Thinking what I'm thinking, folks?
You gained 86 experience points and found a healing potion. Oops, wrong kind of dungeon master.
But this does leave us with a problem. How do we get over this? Well, the answer to that's quite simple. It's a spell that will only be able to use this one time. Go, got him.
I like your style. Splendid job.
Drink a soda or water, flavored water, while we ponder how awesome I am here. And now, well, first of all, we've got the spell checker.
The spell checker. You used to have to wait in line for hours to use this thing. I guess we can cut to the front of the line now.
I believe we found a scroll that needed to be run through the spell checker.
Spell named Odabil is soggy. Drying spell. Drying is complete.
The Obadil spell looks good as new.
Make caster more attractive to other creatures. Alright, so that's something. What else going on around here? We've got elucidation, modification, transmogrification, replication, modification, elucidation, interpretation, all these different things that you can do. Okay. What are we going to do them to? Well, we're going to do them to an item that I just happen to know. Oh man, it's going to be freaking impossible to solve Nemesis like this. Because I went through and solved this on my old computer where this problem was nowhere near as bad, but we've got Burbot scroll sheets.
It's a blank spell scroll. It won't do anything until you put it through the pressing tables in the right order, then feed it into the spell checker.
No jokes. It's a pretty straightforward explanation. But anyway, folks, I remember distinctly with my friend going through all these different 6 things, trying to come up with a logical way to do it. Like, you've got to start with origination. We figured then, oh, okay, based on what the words actually mean, I mean, like, replication actually means something. Transmogrification actually means something. So we figured you would originate the idea, then you might like elucidate it, then you could modify it. I mean, we're trying to come up with like logical things, but no, it turns out they're just completely random. They don't. Other than origination does have to come first. Excuse me. Sorry about that. But other than origination having to come first, pretty much everything else is just like, it's just a puzzle. They might as well be red, blue, green, yellow, orange, and black, and you've got to figure out what order they go in. That's how it works. You read this book, it kind of explains them in a way that makes it sound like a real system, even though it's basically just explaining a puzzle. And you can figure out, you can logic your way through what it has to be from those explanations we had before. But I cast the Kendall spell, so now we know it's origination, modification, replication, interpretation, transmogrification. O-M-R-I-T. Omrit. That's how I'm going to remember it. Omrit. I think origination was over here. That's interpretation. Where's origination? Elucidation, modification. I don't want to forget Omrit. It won't let you do anything except origination first, but after that, it will let you do them in the wrong order. And if you do, you simply get a scroll that doesn't work. You put it through the spell checker, and it says something like spell invalid, and then it disappears, and you have to get a new blank scroll out of that box icon, which does have an infinite number of blank scrolls. So, Omrit. So what's next is yeah, we were trying everything. We were looking at like the name of the spell and trying to figure out Bebert. Okay, well, you start with origination, but maybe the E is for elucidation, and then an T for transmog, like all sorts of crap, just trying to figure it out. No, you just have to look in that locker. We didn't get into that locker and see the explanation for the whole puzzle. So, modification, because it's Omrit. Where's the R? R must be in this corner over here. No. Okay, it's here. Okay, and we need an I, which would be interpretation. And then we need transmogrification, and elucidation is apparently not part of it. Where did we say transmogrification was? It's all the way at the end, isn't it? Yeah.
Spell named Bebert is not yet imbued. Imbuing spell. Imbuing is complete.
The Bebert spell gives the appearance of inclement weather. I use it for family reunions.
Zing. Alright, folks, so we've gone through and done pretty much everything you can do in the magic school. We've come out of it with 2 new spells. Obadil, make a caster more attractive to others, and Bebert, create the illusion of inclement weather. Can you think about where we're going to use those spells, ladies and gents? Think it over. In the meantime, we've got to find 2 more high magic and 2 more deep magic spells before this whole thing's over. And we are kind of closing in on the end. Where can we still do stuff? Well, we've got Zork mids, so we can cross the river Styx to Hades now. And we also got to deal with how do we get into the I'm trying to figure out what the best order to do all the rest of this stuff in is. I'm pretty sure we're done with the school, but that's about the only thing I'm sure of now. My memory is failing me in my old age. When we come back, folks, we will continue solving puzzles and having exciting adventures. It'll be awesome. This is Mysterious JG. I want to thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.